James Gunn is bringing a more vicious villain to DCU who would unite Superman and Lex Luthor. Here are our guesses. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Please like, share and subscribe for more. James Gunn just confirmed a sequel to David Corenswet's Superman. During a phone-in conversation with Howard Stern, Gunn shared that Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor and Superman would team up against a bigger threat in Superman, Man of Tomorrow. He shared, "It is a story about Lex Luthor and Superman having to work together to a certain degree against a much, much bigger threat." Gunn did not reveal who the bigger threat is going to be in the film. However, we can make several good guesses based on the comic book instances when the superhero and supervillain turned allies. In the Panic in the Sky storyline, a cloned version of Lex Luthor, who pretended to be his own legitimate son, helped Superman against one of the major comic book villains. Amy Carrero and Rob Riggle talk Code 3. When Brainiac attacked Earth with his massive superweapon Warworld, Superman had no option but to turn to Lex for help. The bald-headed villain would go on to offer all his advanced weapons to stop Brainiac's invasion. The cloned version isn't really needed if Gunn were to adapt this storyline. There's another storyline in which Lex and Superman partner to take down Brainiac and Brainiac Queen in the House of Brainiac storyline. Joshua Williamson's Superman run saw Lex decide to be the Man of Steel's partner in crime while still in jail. He coaches Superman during battles and even rebrands his organization as Supercorp. In Action Comics number 511, Lex tries to win over Superman with a set of good deeds, including capturing 41 criminals, solving the oil shortage, repairing the ozone layer, and curing a terminal disease. Superman eventually believes Lex has turned over a new leaf when he saves Superman from the villainous Terraman. However, Lex goes back to his old ways after one issue. In the Our Worlds at War storyline, Lex Luthor gets elected as President of the United States, something that could possibly happen in the DCU. When an alien powerhouse known as Imperiex brings a huge army to attack Earth, Lex brings Superman into the conflict. While Superman has no interest in working with Lex, he is forced to work alongside Lex's administration to defeat Imperiex. With Holt's Lex in jail at the end of the first film, Gunn can easily execute this Brainiac storyline if he wants. The duo also unite to fight an alien entity known as the Sun Eater, who is feeding off of Earth's sun. Lex offers his services to Superman and the Justice League, can be the Justice Gang in the movie, to stop the Earth from being trapped in an eternal winter. That was at the beginning when I took on DC, and I promised myself I'm slowing down at least a tiny bit. Although I am creating the Superman sequel that we're starting to shoot in April or so. I'm done writing that for the most part. He earlier told THR that he had finished the treatment of the story, adding that it was a very, very worked-out treatment. Gunn announced that the sequel will hit theaters in July 2027. Superman, Man of Tomorrow is coming sooner than we think. Gunn shared details about his planned sequel with Howard Stern on his show. Gunn shared that the new movie was as much a Lex movie as it is a Superman movie. Gunn further talked about how he related to the character of Lex Luthor. He shared that Lex was a hero before Superman came into the picture 3 years ago. The sudden emergence of another hero with superpowers made Lex jealous and made him do all those crazy things. However, Gunn shared that he can come around to help Superman if the situation ever arises. He also gave an update on when the sequel will start filming. He shared that he had finished the script of this sequel for the most part. Gunn revealed to Howard Stern. Gunn's first DCU film did not live up to the box office predictions, but it managed to cross the $600 million mark in collection. However, many were happy with the film as Gunn put a unique spin on DC's Man of Steel and brought optimism and hope back to the character. What do you think of Gunn's plans for the upcoming Superman sequel? Let us know in the comments below. Superman, Man of Tomorrow is the fourth film in the DCU slate to have a confirmed release date. The next film to be released in the franchise is Millie Alcock's Supergirl, which is directed by Craig Gillespie. The film will be released on June 26, 2026. James Watkins' Clayface, which hasn't announced the cast yet, will be released on September 11, 2026. In the series department, we know that a Lantern series, featuring Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre, is currently in production. It is set to arrive on HBO in early 2026. Peacemaker Season 2 will continue to air episodes until October 9, 2025. Here is James Gunn's DCU slate after the new sequel announcement. Superman, Man of Tomorrow is set to hit theaters on July 9, 2027. Superman is now available for rent on Apple. James Gunn teases the plot for the next major entry in the Superman saga, Man of Tomorrow, starring David Corenswet and Nicholas Hoult. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Please like, share and subscribe for more. Although Man of Tomorrow is set to mark Corenswet's return to the iconic role after a dominant summer, unless he pops up in Peacemaker Season 2 or Supergirl, this isn't exactly a traditional sequel to the 2025 hit. Having wasted no time announcing the next major Superman movie, James Gunn has confirmed Nicholas Hoult's Lex Luthor and David Corenswet's Superman will indeed join forces for Man of Tomorrow. During an appearance on The Howard Stern Show, Gunn revealed the duo will work together, to a certain degree, to face a much bigger threat in the highly anticipated movie. It's a story about Lex Luthor and Superman having to work together to a certain degree against a much bigger threat. This doesn't come as a surprise, since the artwork used to announce the movie already hinted at the potential team-up. However, given the ending of Superman and Lex Luthor's unbridled hatred toward Clark, it'll be interesting to see how long that alliance holds, and whether Lex ultimately double-crosses him in the end. As I've said countless times, you can watch every project by itself, of course, just like you can watch Peacemaker by itself or watch Superman without seeing Creature Commandos. But Man of Tomorrow and PMS2 are very connected. With Peacemaker Season 2 boasting high reviews, James Gunn appears to be succeeding in rebuilding the DC brand after a decade of mishaps. And as for who'll be the big bad of Man of Tomorrow, there's a non-zero chance of it being Brainiac. Even though it's part of Gunn's Superman saga and will feature Superman prominently, the revered filmmaker has explicitly made it clear that it's not Superman 2, adding, via threads, Superman has a major role. It's not Superman 2-inch. In response to another fan, the director expressed that Peacemaker Season 2 is more of a direct sequel to Superman, and the events of this season will directly lead to Man of Tomorrow. I pretty much think of Peacemaker Season 2 as a direct sequel to Superman. Despite positioning Peacemaker Season 2 as a prequel to Man of Tomorrow, Gunn clarified the HBO Max series won't be a mandatory watch for fans looking to enjoy the former, even though they're very connected.